Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. I've been doing a countdown of my favorite video games of all time through each day of the year, and it's time to be serious. Earlier this year, I ranked E.T. for the Atari as a joke on April Fool's Day. Obviously, that game wasn't my real 275th favorite game of all time. That was the joke, after all. Coming in at number 98 is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Did I get you? Did I trick anyone despite the title of this video? Maybe you got here from autoplay? Anyways, yeah, the game today is Skyrim, and definitely not E.T. It's the newest Elder Scrolls game, which came out 13 years ago. By the time the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it will have been 3 times the length between Oblivion and Skyrim. Surely that's because there's an endless, vast ocean of content one can experience in Skyrim, right? If you're here, I assume you're at least aware of some of the basic ideas and memes from the game, but I'll go over it real quick. You start off captured by the Empire along with Ulfric Stormcloak, the Jarl of Windhelm, who led a rebellion against the Empire, and you're all slated for execution. Thankfully, a dragon mysteriously appears and attacks the town at just the right time, allowing you to escape. As you get to safety, you're essentially offered 2 paths. Go with the rebels, or go with the Imperial Guard that's giving you a second chance at freedom. Screw the Empire. You weren't even supposed to be at that execution, but they were like, let's kill him anyways, because it's easy, and screw that guy. Skyrim is for the Nords. Yes, this orc I made to record the beginning of the game is a Nord too. Shut up. There's lots you can do with the character creator, and while there's not set classes per se, there are definitely encouraged play styles. Like with other Elder Scrolls games, you level up different skills based on the actions you take, not only in combat, but things like athletics, stealth, and crafting. But that's not the only way you can get bonuses. Your race can heavily influence some things you want to do with passive and active abilities that are different for each, but there's also something called standing stones, which are very appropriately named, and you can choose one to be active at a time. This is really the closest thing to picking a class, as they have a wide range of benefits that you can swap around by visiting any other stone and picking that one, replacing any previous choices. They can do things like increase skill growth rates, magicka regen, damage resistance, or give you unique abilities like 60-second, once per day, perfect stealth. The rest of the gameplay you'll be seeing is a bit of a different character that I randomly loaded into so I can show you what things are like after you level up at least a little bit more. They're not super high level or anything, but definitely much further along than the orc would have been if I'd spent the same amount of time. I was kind of building it as a battle sorcerer, wearing heavy armor and primarily wielding a one-handed axe while spellcasting with my left hand. Most often, that spell would be a simple self-heal that I could just continuously keep up while wailing away at people, but I also learned a bit of summoning and self-buff spells, too. The best improvement that Skyrim made compared to previous games was dual wielding. And they did it in a really great way, allowing you to have any combination of weapons and spells, so you could, be spell weapon, weapon weapon, or spell spell. And you could really mix and match these things in a lot of ways to get really creative, especially if you had enchanted on-hit effects on your weapons. You could stack them in very cool ways so that you could hit with one, then the other, or you could eventually skill up to do a simultaneous hit with both thing that could trigger a lot of cool stuff. It was really great. But what was this character actually doing? I do not know. Where's the story? I do not know. In fact, I really do not know. I've put several hundred hours into Skyrim, and I've probably only seen about 20% of the story, because I'm easily distracted. After you escape your execution, you kill some other dragons, and it turns out you should actually be small and pink and round, because you can suck up their life essence and gain their powers. You're a dragonborn, meaning you can do that weird thing I just said, and gain the ability to yell good. You have special powers called shouts, which you first learn from going into dungeons, then beating a boss at the end, and reading some runes on a wall. From there you need to kill a dragon to consume its essence, and suddenly you can activate your Thum, meaning voice. You learn kind of how all of this works from some old monks that yell so good, everyone in the entire region can hear them shouting from a mountaintop. There's a lot more adventuring here and different stories to follow. I know you can join the Empire or the Stormcloaks in their war, you can track down the ancient evil dragon that's resurrecting previously dead dragons, you can, kill vampires, maybe? Again, I have gotten very distracted many times. I've probably started no less than 35 new characters in Skyrim and get similarly far, which is not far at all, all of them. I know, I'm really convincing you how good this game is, because it, sucks me in so much, obviously. There's a million things to do in Skyrim, but ultimately each thing isn't actually that complex. So while I enjoy branching into new things all the time with the game, which is easy to do with new characters once I do the thing I set out to do, usually I'll have a goal when I make a character, and then I do that, and then I'm like, I don't really want to do another thing. And doing the thing is so quick, because this game has the breadth of an ocean with the depth of a puddle in the base game. The modding scene in Skyrim is wild. I've always done really light mods, improved textures here, ambient sounds there, a ring that lets me carry infinite weight so I don't actually have to do any item management ever, something that makes every book I haven't read yet glow red, making it easy to amass the entire library of the game, which is really my main goal every time in any Elder Scrolls game, but I keep switching away to something else and then come back and have, again, no idea what I'm doing anymore, so I just start over again. But you can do a lot with the mods. New storylines, new spells, replace the dragons with Thomas the Tank Engine. The options are endless. And if you get really into customizing your experience, I could easily see this being someone else's favorite game of all time. But I'm not looking to work that hard to tinker with stuff, so I'm more than happy to cast my spells, enchant my gear, and join the College of Winterhold for the 20th time, all just to make, a stealth archer again. Join me tomorrow as I talk about my 97th favorite game of all time, where I am well met